Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. I'm super excited to review the final trump card Vegito from Demonical Fit. This figure took a while to come in from AliExpress, but glad to have it now. We'll also be taking a look at a comparison between this guy and then the Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan Vegito from SH Figuarts. The front of the box is that same kind of design with the figure here and like that event exclusive coloring. You could see basically kind of all the things that he comes with, as well as the figure in the window right there. The side has more of the picture of the figure. The back has just some action poses and some blurbs about super action, super modeling, whatever. Then the other side has the UPC and another picture of the actual figure, just with a little filter over it. But yeah, nobody's interested in the box, so let's get them open and take a closer look. Okay, here's Vegito out of the packaging. As you can see, his hair is that nice matte with like a little bit of darker orange airbrushing up at the top. The face looks really nice on him. I think it looks really good, captures Vegito. If anyone plays Dokkan Battle, you'll know that Vegito is the headline anniversary unit for the 10th anniversary. So it's pretty cool getting this figure in time with the anniversary launching. But yeah, and then this figure also has the lower front of the gi, which is accurate for Vegito when he first appeared. The blue is really deep. The belt is like a bluish, purplish color. I've seen a lot of people say this isn't accurate, and I don't think it is either. I just think it looks cool. It's a nice little offset from the blue and the oranges. Then his pants have a little bit of shading, or maybe a lot of bit of shading, but it's a nice airbrush down the front. It looks cool to me. I know a lot of people are like, why is that on there? I think it would be cool if it could continue up here to the gi a little bit, but I guess that's fine. The gloves are sculpted nicely. They're painted, and then the hand is actually molded in the white plastic, but there isn't any of that annoying where, thumbnail sculpt on the gloves, which Tamashii Nations loves to do for glove characters recently for some reason. Just reuse hands, but not remove the fingernail sculpting. Then his boots are all white. Not as pointed as like the original 1.0 Vegito, which I wish they kind of go back to. I like the really pointed boots on him. And then the bottoms are that gray. But yeah, everything's nicely painted and sculpted. I don't really have any complaints. The earrings are painted really nicely. The bangs don't seem to fall off as easily as the Tamashii Nations one, but again, I haven't played with him long enough to actually test that theory. Another cool thing is that his neck is not as long as the Tamashii Nations one, which was super disappointing on that figure. I hated that he had like a lollipop looking head on that figure, but I guess that's okay because we have this new guy. So to get into articulation, he looks up about that much, looks down about that much, and as you can see, his face is kind of starting to fall off. I think that's just a problem with the sculpt or the mold. You push it too far and his face just falls off. But he looks down pretty well. The neck, you can move it, you can see that, but it doesn't really add to anything. And there his face goes. Back on. My head's a little loose. I don't know if you get yours. Let me know if your head is a little loose as well. The arms, it's a typical 2.0 body mold, so the arms only go up this far. And then they can rotate all the way. You have a butterfly joint that doesn't really go too far in, but of course you can do all the Kamehameha poses if you need that to happen. And then he has double jointed elbows, and you can use that top joint to kind of get a little bit more range. The shoulder pads are on like an individual ball joint, so they'll pop off, but they'll go back on pretty easily. Then he does have a bicep swivel. The chest, let him go back about that far for the ab crunch. That far forward. And then at the waist, he can twist. The waist doesn't really crunch forward at all. It just kind of spins. The legs go out about this far on my copy. Just fine by me. Go forward that much. Go back all the way. It doesn't have the weird butt flap to get in the way. Double jointed knees look as a 2.0 double jointed knee would look on baggy pants. Not great, but it does the job. And then for his shoes, the boots don't have a swivel at the top, but you go down about that far, go up about that far. And then he has like a little bit of ankle rocker, not a lot. I was kind of hoping Demonical Fit would do some new engineering on this. Maybe they'll give us a 3.0 Vegito when they stop copying what other people are doing. But I can only hope. Mine is also a little bit stiff. So like he has a thigh swivel, but doesn't really want to go. So he has that, but it's not great on mine. He seems to be like a tiny bit loose, but it's not loose enough to where he can't stand up. So now we got into his articulation, let's take a look at his accessories. Alright, so for his accessories, he comes with 3 other faceplates for Super Saiyan, and then 4 in total for the base form head that he comes with. It's 4 in total as well for the Super Saiyan, but the primary face sculpt, which is the neutral face, is on his head currently when you get him out of the box. This is the teeth gridded sculpt. I think it looks nice. I don't mind the outline of like, it's like a purplish color on the mouth and teeth. I think that looks really good. Eyebrows look good, looks like Vegito. And then he comes with a yelling, screaming face. I think looks good, but I think they could push the expression a little bit more. He kind of looks like he's just like yelling at someone, but not yelling as like angry, like yelling as in like scolding Trunks or Goten or something like that. And then he comes with this faceplate, which is like the smirk that has the bangs kind of flowing in the wind. I think this looks nice. No major complaints with that. I have the original Demonical Fit pack that came with the Super Saiyan head sculpt and the base form head sculpt. I think I can only find the base form pieces currently, or at least one of the faceplates. I have no clue where the rest of them are. But this is the base form head with this new one. It's got like that dark chocolate brown, which is nice. I would enjoy a black variant, even though I know like his hair is supposed to be chocolate brown. But this yelling face looks nice. He's looking off to the side. Pretty cool. And then this one comes with the bangs as well. It's kind of swept to the side. And then the neutral bangs are on this face, which has him kind of staring forward with a frown, which is nice. It looks good. Then he has a smirking face. Again, no complaints with this one. I like this a lot. Looks good. And then he's got a teeth gritted face on this one too, which looks good. Mine has like this little black dot in the center of his forehead, which I could probably get off with like a magic eraser or something, but yeah, the face sculpt looks good on that. Rest of his accessories, he does come with a instant transmission hand. Again, none of these hands have that weird fingernail sculpt on them. He comes with a, you know, come here kind of hand, like come face me hand. He comes with a spirit sword hand. Then he comes with the hand where he's slamming Zamasu down on the ground. That hand looks nice. And then he has a pair of blast hands. And then a pair of Kamehameha clenching hands. And then the special hand for this one, and the reason why I even bought this guy to begin with, was because he comes with the like scatter shot, like this, I think it's called like finger scatter shot or something like that hand, which is pretty cool. This is molded in a transparent plastic, and then it's painted over in white, but I still think it looks really good. Mine's painted really nicely. Then he also comes with the torn piece of Boo, which like the hand is sculpted in. I think this whole thing is actually sculpted in white plastic, because you can see up here it's not fully painted pink, but it looks nice. I think somebody had said it's smaller than the original version that the kit had come with, and it probably won't match up to your SH Figure Arts Boo. But he also comes with crossed arms, and I think these do separate. Whichever way they do. There we go. Yeah. So they do separate. You can't pull them apart, so you can put them together easier on the figure. And then his final accessory is his spirit sword, which is really nice. I know they came out with a larger spirit sword that you could buy back in the day, but this one's really nice and has like that shimmery shine through it, which is pretty cool. But yeah, that's all his accessories. Let's get into some size comparisons. And here he is compared to the SH Figuarts Vegito. This is the one that has the Super Saiyan God Super Saiyan head sculpts. But I have on the old school Demonical fit, brown haired head on him. You can see the difference in skin tone, the difference in the wrinkles of the gloves. This one does have shading on the blue parts of his gi down on his legs, but not as much as the Demonical fit. And then the shoes here, one has like the Demonical fit has a brighter yellow, and then the SH Figuarts has like a more muted color yellow. The belts, this is a lighter blue, this is like a bluish purple. The gi at the front, at the top here, is a little higher. And like I was saying, his neck is a lot longer than the actual Demonical fit one here, but I think this one looks a lot better than this here. So yeah, so getting a closer look at both old school Demonical fit head sculpts, or at least the base sculpt, you can kind of see the difference in them. This one is a more milk chocolate and it's more matte. This one is a little bit glossy, even though the front bangs are the same. And I think the sculpt is actually the same, they just painted it different. Yeah, even with the neutral face, and let me try to find if he has a neutral face with this new one. Yeah, so looking at both neutral faces, this one has a lot more detail, looks a little more fierce. This one looks a little bit more calm. You could swap out these faces, but I don't think it would make much sense because their skin tones are very different. But yeah, definitely the new one is an improvement, even on the earrings. This one is like a pale gold, and this is a really nice gold color. One thing to note too is that their bangs are not exactly the same as the Tamashii Nations one. So as you can see here, Tamashii Nations, it's lifted up off the forehead. These are just kind of slightly swaying to the side. And even the one that's supposed to be a little bit more extreme, still not lifted up off the forehead as exaggerated as Tamashii Nations here. So that's interesting to see. As well as Tamashii Nations, the eyes here are a little bit wider, and then the Demonical fit is a little bit more squinted, which I think works better for Vegito. I think this looks better for Gogeta, but that's just my opinion. Yeah, what do you guys think? Do you like the old school Demonical fit faces? Do you like the Tamashii Nations body? Or would you rather have this new Demonical fit body with the new faces? And not have the old school body to put these new heads on? Or have them reissue like the old faceplate pack? Me personally, I like the new ones. I would rather they had like the Super Saiyan hair that was more of a metallic gold than a airbrushed lighter orange with the yellow. That's a matte color back there, but I know that, you know, Tamashii Nations themselves isn't even consistent with how they do Super Saiyan, so I guess it doesn't really matter. Either one is pretty good. And then here he is standing next to a 1.0 Vegeta and then the Super Saiyan Full Power Son Goku. I think they look great together. It looks like Vegito is actually a little bit smaller than Goku, which is interesting. That's probably how it's supposed to be because he's a fusion between the two, so he might be a little bit shorter just because Vegeta's there. I think they look good together. Pose them on your shelf and no one will know the difference. The yellow's, of course, in the Super Saiyan hair. On the camera, it looks the same, but in person, it's different from this Goku and then that Vegito, but it'll blend in fine. Then here he is compared to a Marvel Legends Iron Man and then a Marvel Legends Spider-Man. Yeah, and he's small, he's an import figure, no surprise here. I still think he'll look good though in any displays you decide to set up. And then finally here he is next to a NECA Leonardo figure and then a Jada Toys DJ. And he's small. These guys are pretty big for domestic figures, but he is true 1/12 scale. So whichever way you decide to pose him on your shelf, even if it's like a diorama with these guys too, I think he'll look pretty good. So my final thoughts, I think this is a cool piece to add to your collection. If you don't have a Vegito or just looking for one that's pretty inexpensive, you can track down pretty easily. I think this guy is a good upgrade. His gi is nice, the shading is nice, the articulation is what you'd expect for a 2.0. So if you're not aching for an expensive 3.0 figure from all the other third-party competitors, I think this guy would be the guy for you. Again, some of the sour points about my copy is that he's a little loose in like the Super Saiyan head, and then his legs are a little stiff with the thigh swivel, but kind of wiggly everywhere else. But he stands perfectly fine. He can hold this pose right here. Also, the arms, or at least the left arm, is a little hard to get off to put on the crossed arms. I still haven't managed to get it off, so I have to heat it up. But yeah, other than that, it's just what I expected from a Demonical Fit figure, especially Vegito that's just copying the Tamashii Nations mold. But yeah, if you guys get this guy, let me know what you think of him, and what do you think of this, figure in this review. Would you pick him up? Did you pick him up over the SH Figure Arts one? I'm really hoping that Tamashii Nations does decide to make their own version as well. But yeah, thank you for watching, and have a great rest of your day.